What's going on, guys? Boy Joe Shake72 coming to you guys a video right now. So another day of camp in the books, Sunday, and we are going to get this going. So let's start out with the most important guy in this team, Carson Wentz. Now Carson Wentz literally took a light load today and didn't do 11 on 11s. He did the 7 on 7s today. No pressure, no defense. So he kind of just took it easy. The coaches of what Doug Pearson was talking about today was, I guess they're monitoring Carson Wentz. They're not going crazy. They're not putting a heavy workload on him. But yesterday they gave him a real heavy workload. Today they kind of just went light, just more passing, more, go out there, throw at your arm, and do what you got to do, and that's really it. Doing some individual drills with his pocket awareness and everything else like that. So I'm happy that they're monitoring him. But I'm going to say this in every video. He's starting week 1. It's going to happen, so everyone's just got to get prepared for it. In preseason, don't know how that's going to work out, but I don't think he's really going to play too much. Maybe a snap or two. I highly doubt they're not going to play him at all in preseason. Maybe a snap, maybe 2 fucking plays. That's what I say the most of. So, Brandon Brooks left Eagles training camp today. But don't worry, he was just not feeling good. So, Brandon Brooks left camp. Chance Warmack came right in, started at the right guard spot, and completely failed, going off sides a few times and literally getting kicked off of the field, getting kicked off for someone else to go in. And that one guy that came in was Matt Pryor, the 6'7", 328-pound left guard. But he went in immediately after Warmack was thrown out of the offense today at camp. He got an Chance Warmack got an earful today. So Matt Pryor, I'm happy. The 5th rounder last year, I'm very happy that this kid wants to play. He's hungry. Chance Warmack, unfortunately drafted in 2013, 2014, was the 13th overall pick from Alabama, was supposed to live up to all this first-round expectation. Jeff Stoutland, our offensive line coach, he was his coach at the time in Alabama when he was in college, and, thought that maybe Jeff Stoutland would, put this spark up in Chance Warmack and get some stuff going on and maybe get the fire under his belt, but it never happened. So Chance Warmack is sitting right next to Isaac Seumalo saying, we're very expendable right now, but what's probably going to save one of them is probably being depth. So that's really all I got to say about that. So we can move on to the wide receivers today. Mike Wallace toasted Rasul Douglas down the field today. Totally just took him down. Deep ball, easy. Rasul Douglas is going to be a backup right now on this defense. He's not going to be, no starter. So don't think he's going to safety, because that was already said that he wasn't going to go to safety, and nothing's going to happen with Rasul Douglas. Even though he's very good, he got toasted today by Mike Wallace, and it is what it is. But it's pretty damn cool to see, some of these young guys go against these big vets. It's pretty exciting. I wish I could actually be there and watch it. It'd be really fun to watch. So that's really exciting. Now, the most important news of the day has got to be friggin' Sidney Jones shut down Nelson Agholor. Sidney Jones shut down Nelson Agholor at one-on-one drills today. Shut him down. Almost had a pick in front of Agholor, but Agholor broke it up right at the last second. It was said that he was literally on his tail. He was literally right in his hip pocket the whole time. And you got to say, Nelson Agholor is probably the quickest player in this offense. The quickest. And you really can't say much more about it, but that's pretty damn good. And from Saturday's press conference with Jim Schwartz quoted some really cool things and really said that, Sidney Jones is not playing like a rookie out there. He is not even in the equation with the rookies. He is something more than, he is way past the rookies right now. When a coach says he's way past the rookies, that's a very good sign, guys. And shutting down Nelson Agholor, you shut down a vet like Marcus Wheaton. Now you shut down Agholor, the quickest guy in this offense. Gives him really good practice. And hey, I'll take him going against Nelson Agholor any day of training camp during the week. I definitely guarantee that. Richard Rodgers, haven't really talked about him. Richard Rodgers, haven't really talked about him at all. And, you know, he's the third tight end behind Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert. You know, Richard Rodgers was the man in Green Bay for a few years, and then he just significantly just dropped and dropped. Became actually third string a few years ago, and then really just had nowhere to go. So the Green Bay let him go. We picked him up. You know, he's that rotational guy. You know, he's going to be that guy in the lineup that he needs good players around him to do well, because he's not a star anymore. He's a big body with very strong hands. I've done a tape study on him. Go check it out. I'll put in the link. I'll put the link in the description below for that. So he's got really strong hands, but he caught a deep ball today, and we all know this guy can catch deep balls. He could. Double coverage between Malcolm Jenkins and Ronald Darby. Literally caught a tight freaking not between Malcolm Jenkins and Ronald Darby. I think it was between Malcolm Jenkins and I forgot who else, but he caught it pretty much in double coverage. Was completely covered, caught a nice pass. So he had a really good catch of the day. See where he goes in this offense. How are they going to utilize him? He's more the Brent Selleck, you know what I mean? They're going to use him as like a Brent Selleck like they did last year. Little dump off passes, you know, use his big body for small windows, you know what I mean, to get those little few extra yards. Probably could do something with him like that, but kind of excited to see where this goes. And we all knew we were going to get some not a marquee tight end, but someone that's a big veteran tight end from, you know, in the league. And we got one in Richard Rodgers. So I'm happy to say that I think this will work out very nicely. And he'll work out nicely with them too, with Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert, and see where it goes from there. Shelton Gibson actually caught a really good pass today, very good deep ball. Doug Pearson says that, you know, he's getting on the right track. I don't think he's really doing anything. He's just showing flashes. And this pass, he's definitely better this year, but he's not electrifying. He's not doing what he's supposed to do as a deep threat. And, you know, he's still a special teams guy, if that's only going to save him to be on this roster this year, being on special teams. So there's a lot to say in that as well. So I'm happy. You know, we'll see what happens with that. I'm not going to go crazy over it. But, you know, Shelton Gibson, I was actually really high on him early when he first got drafted. But now I'm kind of like, I think he needs a lot of work. And I just don't think he can actually be on a roster. And I mean, I know he won't start. He'll never start. But, you know, we'll see down the road what happens with Shelton Gibson. Trey Sullivan picked off Carson Wentz today. Nice little deep ball, but Trey Sullivan's getting in there, got a nice pick today. So, hey, he's another guy that I want to see more of, okay? He's another guy I want to see really do more and more and more. I got to see him be more consistent and see, you know, when they say, you know, he got a pick during practice, it's cool, but it seems like he's definitely more active, and he's more on that thought of being that third string safety this year. So I got to see more from Trey Sullivan and see where he goes from there. Now, Devontae Bosby started the nickel today, and Sidney Jones started the nickel today. So they split the reps today at the nickel spot. And from what it looked like from the reporters today, that they've looked like they've both been playing very well during this camp so far, and they're kind of not separating from each other. They're kind of like they're both climbing. Like there's no one has hit the ground low with their playing time. They've been, you know, very competitive. So this is a good sign. So we need someone at the nickel spot, and we all know Devontae Bosby is probably going to be that #1 prospect there with Sidney Jones and Jalen Mills on the outside. So that's what I'm kind of predicting right now. But so far, it's looked pretty damn good. So I'm excited to see what both of these guys do down later in camp, and then when the start of the preseason comes. So just a little update on, you know, what's going on at the nickel spot to the outside. To talk about the other corners as well, Jalen Mills was one-on-one with Matt Collins today, covered him, draped him, was all over him all day, and did a really good job. So Jalen Mills looks like he's getting better. Matt Collins is a good player to really, he needs to practice against those speedy receivers, those twitchy, speedy receivers. He's got to do that, and, you know, only Jalen Mills can get better. You know, and not get beat by those double moves. So hopefully he impresses more during training camp and later on as well. Ronald Darby was all over Marcus Wheaton today. Nick Foles, you know, tried to fit in a pass to Marcus Wheaton. I guess apparently it was literally right into Ronald Darby's hands, and he fucking dropped it. So he was really apparently pissed off at himself. He was going crazy over it. Pretty busy day today. So there's a lot going on with all these positions and what's really going on. So people are the defense has really stepped up this year in camp, because last year they made plays, but I see a lot of picks. I see a lot of, you know, the coverage seems to be better. And the coaching seems to be coaching these guys up really well. I really didn't get much else from this other than you know, defense had a really good day. Offense had a really good day, so it was kind of balanced out today. But that's about it, guys. Other than that, all I can say is, you know, let's get ready for another day of training camp tomorrow and get this shit rolling. So that's all I got to say, guys. So thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. Shake Squad up. Fly, let's fly. Peace.